This is the Pro Tour. Volkswagen Racing supports South African motorsport. It's round one, we're at Phakisa Freeway, and this week we're concentrating on action from the Goldwagen Challenge and the Formula V's. Goldwagen, proud sponsors of the Goldwagen Challenge. Big field of cars came to the Phakisa Freeway and into town to entertain some of the crowds in Welkom, getting a little bit of a taste as to what's going to be happening over the weekend. It's usually mind-blowing racing in the Goldwagen Challenge, and it's been going for a long, long time. We caught up with Yannick van Rooyen to give us a bit of the history of the Goldwagen Challenge.
This goes back to 1972, believe it or not. Clubman Racing, as they were known those days. First with Reynolds, then came the Datsuns in the 80s, and then the middle 90s we changed to VW. VW Challenge will always be the number one. It's just really, really competitive. And like I say, you know, I've been around with these guys for a long, long time. The faces are old. We've been together through a lot of hardships. With that little kart as being so competitive, with these little karts, if you have 5 of them together on a circuit doing the same time, you're in for a draw. It's as simple as that.
There is no doubt about it. That's how close the racing gets, and in qualifying it was just as close. Although there's going to be a couple of guys that a few of these contenders are going to be worried about. Carlos Nobre being one of them, heading up Class C's qualifying ahead of Van Vletter and Van Rooyen. James Hurley out in his Golf ahead of Piazza Musso and Hall.
Carlos, we haven't seen you for, what is it, 3 seasons now, and you dust off the old Golf, you come back and play straight onto pole as well.
Yeah, sure. It's been 3 years, and yeah, it's been great. Nice to be back again. Nice to see the old faces, and yeah, we've been a bit lucky also this weekend. So I'm looking forward to the race. It's going to be competitive.
Classes C and D starting together now and heading down towards turn 1. A good start there from Nobre. You can see in the background Van Vletter in the Batmobile also got a good one, but around the outside comes Van Rooyen. What a start from Yannick van Rooyen. It looked like Carlos Nobre just got bogged down. He got off the line well and then just got away. Joining me in the studio this time out, Matt Smith. Not unbelievable, Nathan.
Yeah, a little bit unbelievable to have him missing, but I'll try and fill in those big shoes. Yeah, you know, Van Rooyen just got a great drop around the outside. Great, clean bit of circuit as well, and that's obviously what you want to do. You qualify on the outside, you can just drive all the way through. James Hurley's going to be the man to watch out for here as they head down towards turn number 1. He's going to be going at it with Piazza Musso and Hall. We go on board with Devin Piazza Musso. First time into turn 1. He's got the whole shot. He looks on his outside. He might be concerned about probably Brad Hall or possibly even Hurley, who could have got onto the outside. But no worries as they come on. Here they come down the little straight towards Kink and towards turn 2. And already pressure being applied from behind by the 16 car there of Lyle Ramsey. A lot of young kids in the Class Ds as well, and we always see them get way loose at this track. It is running very dirty this weekend as well. Hasn't been used all the way through the off-season, so they're going to be putting some rubber down, and the laps will get a little bit cleaner towards the end. Hurley trying to get a move up the inside as they head into the toe of the boot.
You can see the Coney colours, new colours there, and coming up to the front end of the field, things have already started to heat up here quite dramatically. It looks like Monroe's involved there too. Lyle Ramsey trying to close down. A little bit of a better and a recovery there from Carlos Nobre. But on board here with Philip Cruiser, and this is where things get real. This is lap 1. Cold tyres going in here. How much can they hang on? Oh, it's everything she's got through there. Brilliant stuff.
These cars don't put out that much power, so they can keep it buried the whole way through. What you need is a good setup on the brakes, and Gina Monroe diving up the inside there, and the Polo can hold a tighter line.
Good drive there from her as they come into the main straightaway once again. Van Vletter and Van Rooyen going at it at the front. They've got a little bit of a gap now, a bit of a buffer to Wouter Roos, who is in 3rd place, and Wouter's under massive pressure because, as I said, Carlos Nobre has recovered slightly and is now closing down that Polo Classic.
Van Vletter up the inside. He had absolutely acres of room to make that count, and in qualifying and practice, these were the 2 guys that were fastest the whole way through. What they need to do now, though, is work together. Like we always say with the go-karting guys, think, come with me, and let's check out.
Check in the background. Things getting a bit hair-raising through there. They came out of turn 1. Gina Monroe under massive pressure. You can see it was coming from Philip Cruiser. Cruiser all over the back of the young lady and looking for a way through, and in fact he's being bogged down. Looks like somebody stuck up his inside and he's going to lose out of position here. Yes, indeed. Gavin Monroe sneaks through and takes that position in the Jumbo Golf.
Young Gavin Monroe absolutely charging through there in the second shape of the Golfs, just finding his feet. Not great in qualifying, but he's one of those guys that's going to race himself faster.
Here's Wouter being attacked by the Carlos Nobre Golf, and unfortunately losing out there. You can see that he just left the door open, and you don't want to be doing that. Nobre's had a lot of experience in Goldwagen and also at national championship level in production cars, so he knows how to throw a golf into a corner when there's a big open gap like that.
What's going up against Carlos Nobre in the yellow cars, we see him come through there, is this is a sprint race. It's 9 laps. We call it a sprint race, very long around this track, but it's still a sprint race. He hasn't got too many laps to get himself all the way to the front, and he's only just now matching the lap times of Van Rooyen and Van Vletter. So he's got traffic to get through and throw down those numbers.
You can see that things now starting to settle here between the Jumbo Golf and the Polo. Behind them, there's 2 Golf 1s, and that's the spread of the field. Absolutely brilliantly done by these guys. They're getting so tight in amongst each other, and you can see already looking for an opportunity. Can he sneak through? Well, there's the Giulio Sabatini machine. Not able to quite make it stick just yet, but Cruiser is looking dangerous.
It is getting nice and bunched up there as we head towards the mid part of this race. There's Voda Roos. He is now in 4th place. As you can see, Carlos Nobre has come charging through and already got himself up into 3rd place.
Looks like Elke van Vletter has now joined the party too, just behind Philip Cruiser. Oh, Cruiser and Monroe running wide. Very wide here from Cruiser. This is going to lose him a bit of ground. And Van Vletter looks like she could take it out. Oh, man, had to take evasive action. Yes, that is the Bat Lady, and unfortunately, she got completely turned around.
That was just 3 or 4 cars going in too deep, washing all that dirt onto the track. Now, this is the battle at the front, and from a terrible start, can you believe, all the way back to the front, and we've got Carlos Nobre charging out in the lead.
And what a start there from Nobre. He put in a 2:01. That is an absolutely hot lap time around here, especially considering he's in a Class C car. So well done, Carlos. Good recovery. And now at the front end, it's a 3-way battle. 2 City 1s, and of course a Jumbo Golf on their tail in the form of the Batman.
Yeah, Van Vletter is going to have to start really forcing it. You can see at the turnaround there, the back end of the Jumbo was just wagging around, and it looks like his back tires may have gone.
Oh, Nobre's got a problem. He pulls to the sideline. Is that a puncture, or something's gone wrong on that car? With 2 laps to go, can you believe it? Voda Roos has now been gifted an opportunity of getting onto the podium. He's got to try and close down on these 2 though. Van Rooyen and Van Vletter, they have disappeared at the front end. Now that we've lost Nobre, what a pity. That battle's now just filtered and fizzed out.
Yanni just controlling this race absolutely perfectly. You can see in the background, 3rd place is long gone.
As they come across the line now, they'll be starting lap 8 of 9. This is what it's all about at the front end. A little bit further back though, Hurley's in it. Man, is this a great battle. This has turned into one of the best races we've seen in a long time in Class Ds. It's 4 City Golfs going at it. One of them being run wide there, coming straight back. Look at this, absolutely brilliant stuff. As Hurley tries to come back, but not able to make it stick just yet. Oh, this is awesome. That's the 53 of Michael Cap. He's not normally in this little battle, but he's throwing everything in it.
That is a former championship winning car as well. That took it all the way last year, so we know that car, looking like it's still in the Ferodo colors, is a flyer.
You can see just how well he's got to grips with it as well. Of course, being set up by Lee Thompson and, of course, our champion from last year, Calvin van der Linde. We'll see him in action a bit later on. But this is the final lap. Yanni van Rooyen coming across the line and taking the checkered flag ahead of Henry van Vletter. Brilliant driving from the 2 elderly statesmen of the field. But great stuff nonetheless between the 2 of them. Pity Nobre had to lose out there.
Van Vletter was solid the whole way through, forcing him, but the story was young Gavin Monroe getting himself up into 3rd place with just 2 laps to go.
Class D going to James Hurley, Piazza Musa in 2nd, and Brad Hall hanging on for 3rd.
Hey, Yanni, it wasn't an easy one, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really a good race. It was fantastic to race with a guy like Carlos Nobre. You know, he's an ex-national man, and to follow him around just takes some doing, you know. But then, he showed us alliance and stuff, and we just hanged in there.
From Yanni, we go to one of the younger competitors with big boots to fill in the motorsport world.
I started when I was 8 years old, the usual path for many racing drivers. I started in a kart, and my career just progressed from there, and we made our way up, and today we find ourselves very fortunate with Ferodo Racing on our side. Our 2nd year with them in the Engine Polo Cup and VW Challenge. My decision to go to tin top cars was because my dad obviously had a successful career in tin tops, and it was a logical move to make given the opportunities in South Africa and opportunities worldwide. So it made the most sense to go tin tops, and I think my driving style is best suited to a tin top car.
Qualifying is what it's all about for classes A and B, and Van der Linde at the top. No problems there for him. Valdi Mikey's pushing him, and Black and Sea, a big surprise there on the Cruiser, top of Class B.
Well, Keegan, first race of the season, brand new wagon. Tell me what's happening.
Yeah, I'm stepped up to Class A a lot, racing with the big boys now. Wayne Masters gave me a brilliant opportunity to race in the Golf 4 this year. Really looking forward to a new challenge, new season, new team. Yeah, racing against the best now.
Steve, last year ended with a tight championship. It went all the way down to the wire and the last lap almost. This year you're going to start clean and try and dominate early on.
Yeah, I think we're going to try and have a better start of the season we did last year because everything seemed to go wrong. But yeah, yesterday the cars were all good. Rory, Elna, Darren, myself, all within 0.1, 0.2. It's going to be a very close race.
On the line and the grid for the Class A's and B's. Now the story to watch out for is Van der Linde in the polo for the first time this year in this category of racing. Can he link those first 3 laps together as he did last year and run away with this one?
Polo GTI just getting a great one. Blackensea, though, left on the line. Can you believe the whole Class A field got through and he is now having to come from behind. He was in 3rd place, 3rd qualifier. Brilliant bit of driving this morning to get it up there, but unfortunately not getting off the line well. The GTI has disappeared at the front, and here comes the battle for 2nd and 3rd, and already side-by-side action as Baldy Monkeys goes at it with Ray Wilford, who's back in Class A Goldwagens.
This just shows how tight it is. This is going into turn number 3. It's all on the brakes. Keys now has to play defensive as Ray Wilford brings out the neon wheels once again for 2012.
I was about to say to you, how do you think I knew it was Ray Wilford? It's because of those wheels. Speaking of neon, though, check out car number 4 going into turn 2 here for Class B. That's all about the new colours for the Cody cars, and unfortunately Hurley running a little wide through there. Here we go on board with him now, and he is side by side with this is Thole, and just ahead is Needham, and what a start there from Nathan. The Sex Trader car's up to 3rd, pushing.
Thole has stepped into Pete Potkitter's car, so he's still feeling his way around that. I think he's going to race himself into a taster position, though.
Side by side as they come out, Elna and Rory Atkinson. A much better start from Rory Atkinson, I say, because most of the time last year, as we see Blackensea's trying up the inside.
Iggy just throwing it in the inside there. You can see he's driving aggressive, and it's a good move as well. This big car that he's in can handle moves like that. He can just lob it in. Much bigger frame, wider stance is just going to be perfectly suited to this track, but he is coming from a come-from-behind drive. There he is in the big Golf.
Only one problem, though. That's to try and find a way past Smallberger. Not the easiest man to pass on the track, that is for sure. If they go down the back straight away, you can see that's the battle for about 6th place, and they come flying down here. Look at this, Calvin, Valdi, Ray Wilford. Brilliant start from the 3 of them, getting away actually and starting to pull a bit of a gap as we've seen action at the back end. This is really tight stuff. Barry Grunewald had a look up the inside but wasn't able to make it stick just yet. You can see Gavin Ross just saw him coming and said, no, I'm not backing out of this.
Here's the crowd as they come through, all the sweepers. It's Nathan in 2nd place, but he needs to run with the polo with a boot that's heading out. Rory Atkinson is running away.
We go on board with Elna Cruiser putting pressure onto the back end of Thompson. This is a battle that's basically raged almost all of last season. You can see Elna's not holding back here at all. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
Gotta love the double tap there. He didn't actually brake there. He was just tapping with the left foot.
Yeah, a little brake test there going in, but Elna didn't fall for it. And in fact, around the outside comes Thole. He didn't fall for it either. He went around the outside of that double right. That's not an easy thing to get right, that is for sure.
Here's a situation we need to address. Last year, by this stage of the race, 3 laps in, Calvin van der Linde had checked out something like 4 or 5 car lengths. Valdi is pushing the pace and just hanging on to the lighty.
You can see maybe he's just using that...
Charles
gets it sideways. And nearly gets clipped by his dad too. Well done, Derek, for missing. But what were you thinking there? Going out onto the dirty stuff? The track's dirty enough. Try and stay on the clean bits.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It just shows you how loose it is all the way on the outside there. And the guys run these cars in a circuit like this, so there's plenty of grip on the front, and they do let the back end wag around a little bit down here.
Well, that action's allowed Blackensea through, and Derek didn't have an answer there, unfortunately. Trying to miss his son spinning out in the flight hand cleaner's car. Now they go through Unchini 1 and 2 onto the back straight. Look at how these guys are pushing. They're trying to close down, and it's going to be a tough one to try and get up there, I can tell you. Quinton Needham's car is very quick, but that Golf 4 has proven itself time and time again, especially here at Phakisa, and it seems to have the pace down that back straight to close in on Needham.
3rd to 4th place is where the gap is. Needham is going to be coming under pressure very soon because Keegan is back onto his qualifying pace, and he is going to take over 4th place very soon.
A little lock up there is not the way you want to be doing it into the 2nd last corner, but he's lost a little bit of drive with that lock up. Had to compromise it slightly to take it wider, but because it's such a big car, this Golf 4, he's able to hang on to the position.
This is where he's going to close down. He can carry much more exit speed and really starts closing things down on Needham. Expect a move as they go into turn number 3 on the next lap.
1, 2, and 3 basically done and dusted. There's an even spread between the 3 of them. Although, as you said earlier on, Matt, it's interesting to see that Calvin hasn't been able to get away. I wanted to say that the Polo is probably going to be used so that he gets used to the Polo driving style, because that's what he's going to be looking at this year.
That's
the National Championship.
You're dead right. That's exactly what it's all about. That said, he still wants to defend this title. Now we go back to the battle that is heating up for 4th place. Keegan Blackensea is slightly getting held up now. He has been stuck on the bumper for a lap and a half.
See if he can sneak up the inside into Inchini 1.
Oh, gears again. That was with the story. As he tried to get off the line, he's just finding neutrals everywhere.
So he finds the gear now, eventually gets the drive, but now has Smallberger all over the back of him. Let's see whether or not he's able to use the drive down the back straight. He's onto the tailpiece. That's exactly where he needs to be. Perfect positioning there on that Golf 4. But you can see that Smallberger's going to do the same thing. It's going to be 3x3 into the bottom turn here. Double right-hander, everything she's got. And there goes Smallberger, exactly as I said. Oh, how did he tap out of that one?
Derek was in the right place at the right time. He just couldn't commit to it. You can see a gear down there, a puff of smoke from Needham as he tries to hang on to this one. He's going to lose one position, but I don't think he's going to lose the two.
Try and hang on to it
Good
as much
man.
as possible. There you go, just slot in between and keep out Smallberger. Smallberger runs wide, tries to probably get a late apex so that he can get the early apex for the next corner, and he's going to get the inside. No, he's not. Not quite close enough yet, but he definitely had a big look.
Okay, Black and Sea was the fastest man on track behind Calvin van der Linde until he caught the back end of Quinton Needham. Now he can start stretching his legs, but he's not going to get another position, not in this race.
Now you can see Ray Wolford at the front end, but I don't think he's going to catch him. Here's Thole, Nathan going into the big right hand at the back of the straight. This is the fastest spot. Oh, looks like there's a little bit. Yes, there's a mistake there. Mistake from Thole. Nathan comes off it and he gets into a big slide in the sixth trainer. Thole's gone as well.
All kinds of loose. That's what happens if you lift through that corner. Thole looked like he had a little bit of a moment. Nathan backed out of it completely. They both went sideways, and I don't know how they didn't roll. That was a massive off.
How did Hurley not miss tapping either of them? Because they both spun in front of him. First it was all about Nathan, then he saw Thole going sideways. Hurley just kept it all there. Look, there he is. Look how close he is. There's Nathan getting sideways. Already Thole trying to catch it. The two of them almost tandem stuff there for Nathan's Motorsport, and the two polos ending up in the kiddie lane. That was nearly a roll.
Thole was so close to catching that thing, but if you could, that would be the comeback of the century to hang on to that one.
Dude, if it was you and me in the car would have rolled. No doubt about
12
it.
times. I'd be up on the banking. But that's obviously opened up the hole for Rory Atkinson, and he's out there, out front, leading that category by miles now.
This battle is not done and dusted yet. Smallberger once back. He is giving it everything he can. The Polo Classic taking on the Golf 4.
And the tyres are all starting to break loose now. Black and Sea even trying to hang that thing out the whole way through. But this is our race leader, untroubled, and once again, the fastest man on track the whole way through that race.
Yeah, brilliant bit of driving there from Calvin van der Linde, and what a way to start off your championship retaining campaign. Second place going to Valdi Monkeys. Valdi's going to be scratching his head going, I've got to find something special. This kid is very hard to beat, even when he's in a Class B car. Now he's in a Class A Polo. Monkeys in second, Wolford third.
Atkinson starts his season off with the first place, and Hurley slides through for second.
Rory, last season you were having problems coming out of the gate. The starts were the problem. You've dialed that in. This year they look good.
Yeah, a few practices on all the sessions there, and it looks like we've got that one nailed.
And it just developed into a good race after that. But the guys were coming. Looks like some problems for Nathan and Thole halfway through the race, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guys scrapped and let me get away a bit. But thanks to Andre Haupt and Derek Smallberger and the flight guys, the car was just awesome, and we could nail it from there on.
Race 2, and probably changeable conditions expected here, because there is a bit of wetness in the sky heading our way, but a great start off the line nonetheless. You can see Voterus going side by side with Van Vletter. Can he go around the outside of him? No, he can't. Reason being, who's on his outside? Monroe in the Jumbo Golf. That's a Jumbo Golf sandwich.
Gav Monroe just twitching the whole way through the outside, tried to hang on to it, had to back out, but the drive and the gate, once again from Jannie van Rooyen, he is charging today. That outside line to the sweeper going into turn 1, he's got it down.
Side by side for turn 2. Who's going to have what it takes on the brakes? Is Van Vletter going to be able to hang on? No, he's not. Voterus sliding in there. Wow, man!
Pitch that
Brilliant
thing
stuff.
in. Is that thing a rear-wheel drive now?
He thinks so. Here we go with the Class Ds heading down towards turn 1. A couple of cars unfortunately not making it back onto the grid, but nonetheless another great start around the outside, hanging on for dear life. The 23 car making a welcome return here. Lee Thompson out of the blue, just bringing a car to come and play.
No, he's literally raced in every category of the Goldwagen Challenge, so he's gone for a Class D this time to see what he can do. On board now with Piazza Mosso, just giving the wave by to one of the other drivers.
No, I think he was just saying, come on, let's go and get these guys. They've got away a little bit at the start. Caught napping there, but looks like James Hurley. Oh,
caught that one.
Understeer, oversteer. I've got this. Brad Hall going, no, you haven't.
And
I've got it.
That just shows you that we actually thought the circuit was going to get better. It got worse towards the end of the day. Conditions got cooler. The tyres were not happy here.
Brad Hall sneaking through and capitalizing on that mistake. Here comes Piazza Musso. So the 3 white Golfs taking on that luminous and silver machine in what is now third place. Can he come back to second? Yes, he can, through Coca-Cola. No answer whatsoever. Couldn't close the door. Brad Hall looked for another position to get past.
Hurley, that Coney car, even his dad's car, we say we've never seen a car that planted around these tracks.
Jannie van Rooyen, Van Vletter taking up the battle once again at the front end. Then they just spread out. Monroe, then Votaruas, Gina Monroe. Here comes Nobre. Oh, he had to start from the back, but he is coming like a hot knife through butter.
Would you look at that line?
What a line!
No, he's got a real early line going in there, almost a superbike line. He's made up 1, 2, 3, and a little nudge. That was all Carlos. Unfortunately, it would have been an incredible move trying to use the other cars of Verve, and it just didn't hang on.
Gavin Monroe onto the grass and back onto the tar. Was he going to lose out? How many positions? One, only 2 positions. Not too bad. Lyle Ramsey just going through and hanging on for dear life. But awesome stuff between these guys. This is what it's all about.
I see what I'm impressed with Gavin Monroe. To come back from that and just get straight into race pace, you know your tires are dirty. Coming onto the circuit, you've got to pitch it in. He was cool with that. He didn't mind the drift.
Here we go through turn 1. Look at how these guys, how busy it is in the cockpit, how busy it is all around you. There's just cars everywhere. It's like 5 o'clock traffic. But as they come out of turn 1, they've got to start setting things up. Back to the Class Ds. Brilliant bit of driving. Hurley's got through again. And Brad Hall trying to stay with him. The Restonic man taking on the Coney suspension. There's the stricken, unfortunately, Carlos Nobre. He's now recovered and just tucks into the Class Ds. Take me to the front, boys.
That's going to cause some problems the whole way through. The rest of the guys, Brad Hall's going to be staring at that car going, I hope that thing's fast. I'm going to tuck in and grab that bumper.
Nice to see the 2 boys from Restonic going at it, using team tactics. Brad Hall and Piazza Musso as they pitch it into turn 1. How hard it is, and there you go onto the inside. Look at the back wheels lifting off the ground there.
Nice shot there the whole way through, and you just got to keep it buried. Did you see the drive? I mean, Piazza Musso was actually closing things down, and it looked like Nobre got in the way. He is. He has got a flat here. He's got something wrong with his car, slowed down the pace, and that almost caused another problem.
Fortunately, Piazza Musso had his wits about him and went round the outside. I think Brad Hall might have lost start, though. Let's have a look and see. No, it is. Brad Hall just hanging in there. No, it's not. He has lost out. I am right. Lyle Ramsey has moved ahead. So Hall making a big mistake there after getting bogged down slightly by the Class C car.
Had to back out of it when you're driving all the way through turn number 1 to head up and over the hill. These cars don't have a lot of power to play with, so if you back out and don't carry that momentum, you're going to lose that pace.
Back to the front end, Van Vletter and Van Rooyen. Good battle between the 2 of them, but a little bit further back. That's the one we're kind of concentrating on. These guys haven't given an inch. Votaruas looking across at Gavin Monroe. Monroe saying, I've got this one this time.
Well, we've seen, I mean, Gavin Monroe has had the pace all weekend long. He really has been the surprise package. And it's just unfortunate that he had those problems earlier on in the race and not the best qualifier. I think in the next couple of rounds, we're going to see him running with the race leaders.
It's a late braking maneuver there from Gavin Monroe to try and keep that polo behind him.
And I'll tell you what, Greg, he's done that every single lap all the way through the weekend. He doesn't mind going in there deep.
Nails it deep and then gets good drive. That's the cool thing about that car. It is brilliantly prepared. And as they come onto the main straightaway now, we've only got a couple of laps to go for these guys. There is nothing in it between 1 and 2. A small gap down to 3 and 4, but also just as close.
Is this a repeat of race number 1 or what? I mean, Henry Van Vletter has been the shadow to Jannie all day.
Unfortunately, the Batmobile just not able to stay with the Goldwagen Rudaport machine. And it's a great effort here from Jannie van Rooyen. He is a seasoned campaigner in this particular category. And he's definitely one of the hardest men to beat on the track, no matter what car he's in.
He is, you know, he just gets that qualifier right. He gets fired off the line, and he gets locked into his own zone straight away. If you watch his lap times, they don't change the whole way through the race.
Checkered flag will be waiting as he comes across the line. Double victory and a great way to start the season there for Van Rooyen. Van Vletter will be happy. There's no doubt about it. He would have liked to beat Van Rooyen, but nevertheless, 2 seconds on the day is better than nothing.
An exciting race as well. You can see the guys had to change a little bit of the setup on the car. The track was going away. Confirmation then Class C, Van Rooyen, Van Vletter, and then a comeback drive from Monroe.
James Hurley hanging on for Class D ahead of Piazza Musso and Hall.
Look, yeah, it's been the old guys fighting over the lead, but 2 third places, that's a good start to the season.
It's been okay. I mean, I've had to work on the car. We've done some work with Dion Kraus, and I mean, they've really got the cars that can carry a lot of corner speed through the corners and stuff. So thanks to Dion and them for like setup on the car.
Dev, the Class Cs this year, I mean, it's going to be busy. 3rd place is a big result already.
Yeah, we worked hard in the off-season, but we still got a lot of work to do to catch James and Lee.
Race 2 of classes A and B, 9 laps of action coming your way. Another good start from Calvin van der Linde, a great start from Ray Wolford. Who is going to get down to turn 1 first? Will it be Valdi? It looks like he might have what it takes. He goes onto the inside, he's going to hold that line, but watch for that red polo on his outside. I think they're going to be side by side, or has he forced him out? He's got through. Brilliant stuff, Valdi.
That's great. Good drive off the line. It's obviously that the inside line did clear up coming off the line, but look at K-Vid. I'm going to dub him that from now on. Calvin van der Linde just charging, and he's just looking for a pass straight away. That's the great thing about this kid. He will throw it all down laps 1, 2, and 3 and make it happen.
He was able to get past Voldy Monkeys. He's going defensive every chance he can, and we're only on to turn 2. Here's a start for the Class Bs, and once again another phenomenal start here from Elmer onto the tailpiece of Rory Atkinson, who's improving every single time. We heard in his interview he's been practicing, and it seems to be paying off. Although, as I say that, look at the start from the Coney car on the inside. Hurley is right there.
Steve Hurley forces Atkinson onto the grass a little bit. Watch further back. You're going to see Nathan and Tholay come charging through. Remember, those were the spinners from race number 1 as we go elbow to elbow into turn 3.
A little tap on the back there from the X-Trader car, and tap from Thompson on Hurley as well. Cruiser looks in the rearview mirror and looks in the front, and just sees taps all the way around.
Look at Hurley just lean across there, covers that line. Thompson has to go around him.
Can go around him now and might be able to get the drive. If he keeps it on the outside, remember the next corner is a left-hander into Coca-Cola, so that's what he's going to try and do. But is he able to get the drive? He's got Nathan right with him, actually giving him a little bit of an assist there by the looks of things.
The 2 polos then. We are going onto the back straight. Voldy is charging off the front. He needs to break loose, but when the other polo is this close behind him, it's just going to be slipstream city. Voldy needs to hang on to this. He wants to lead a lap at Phakisa.
Look in the back there. Looks like Ray Wolford falling by the wayside. Yes, indeed. The flight hand cleaner car of Smallberger. Derek Smallberger goes past.
Oh.
So does Barry Grunewald side by side with Ray. It looks like Ray might have missed a gear onto the back straight. There's definitely a problem on that big Golf.
That's exactly what happened there. You can see it. Voldy going defensive already. He wants to cross the line and at least take 1 lap ahead of the Lighty.
Can you believe it? This is awesome stuff, and this is only lap number 1 of race 2. We've got another 8 laps of this action to come. They come almost side by side through the final corner. Watch out in the background. Blackensee is on a charge. He wants to get up there, and he says, right, here we go. Oh, there's a move, though.
Elbows.
Look at this.
Big
Wing
drive.
mirrors.
Big drive coming through the final turn. That was all set up about halfway down the start-finish straight, and Cavert slides into 1.
So Van der Linde moving up into 1. There comes a move from Nathan. He's bringing along a whole bunch of guys. Peter Thompson's involved. Elmer Cruz's actually lost out to Peter Thompson, and Quinton's just ahead. Oh, a little tap. Is it? Oh,
that was not
that was
a
big
little tap. That was a huge nudge the whole way through. Alna had the line at the inside. You could see she had understeer. Her arms were crossed up on the steering wheel, and it just pointed her straight into the back end of Peter.
That's a big, big pity there. Rory Eland was involved in that too. He had to take evasive action, as did Fred Morowitz. Here they come across the line. Here we go. Let's resume this action, shall we? Into turn 1. Brilliant stuff. And it looks like Thompson's got a problem. Yeah, he is definitely slowing and starting to slip and slide. There's a puncture on that car. That's why he's got out of shape. The back right seems to have a massive puncture, and once again, Elmer gets forced onto the grass.
Tyrell Govindasamy was the 94 blue and white car that came sliding through there, and he got through just before it all broke loose.
Front end, look at this, a bit of a gap now being opened up. As soon as Calvin van der Linde got to the front, he pulled away from Monkeys. Blackensee hasn't been able to get there.
Charles, once again, the back end of that flight hang cleaner, Golf, is just breaking loose on this track. They're going to have to put a wedge in there, turn a screw, something like that. They're going to hold it together.
Yeah, there's a move around the outside into the final corner. What a bit of driving there from Smallberger. Keegan Blackensee didn't expect that. Otherwise, he would have gone defensive. But it is all about Derek Smallberger sneaking through and getting ahead. This is brilliant stuff.
Just past the halfway marker of this race, and these guys are praying that it will end soon because it's been a long, hard day at round number 1. Phakisa, but back Blackensee in the new car, it's coming to him. You can see, watch out for the rest of the season. That Wayne Masters' previous car is styled up.
Now, the Vendetta machine now in the hands of Keegan Blackensee is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Here we go on board with Steve Hurley as they head down and into very tricky part of the circuit. In fact, looks like a bit of rain.
It
looks like a bit of rain on the windscreen. This is going to get scary.
It's getting wet out there. You can see a tiny lift from Hurley, but he's got this thing on the rev limiter. That red light is just screaming at him the whole way through the corner, and he's not backing out. And that's why he had all that drive, and he set that thing up.
Can you believe how he just snuck through there? No answer whatsoever from Rory Atkinson. And in the background, Nathan's saying, okay, well, if he can get through, I can probably get there as well. Let's see whether or not he's able to do it. There is rain on the circuit. We know how dirty the track is at the moment. A bit of water is not going to help these guys.
Hurley carried massive speed through the penultimate turn to make that count. Now, with just a lap and a half to go, the heavens have opened. If this track was dirty and greasy before, man, it is going to be almost undrivable now.
Look at that for driving style, though. Ray Wolford splitting the 2 cars. He's got a bit of damage on the front end that probably came from a nudge from behind of one of the cars he's got through on. And unfortunately, looks like both Blackensee and Smallberger don't have the handling in the wet stuff that Ray's able to get out of that big jumbo.
Wolford has come out of literally nowhere. He was something like 5 or 6 seconds down on that group, and he's come charging through.
As they come across the line now, only 1 lap to go. This is awesome stuff. The rain has come probably at the wrong time for a lot of drivers, but a couple of guys are going to take advantage, and one of them might be Charles Smallberger in the flight hand cleaner machine as he tries to sneak on Blackensee. Blackensee sees him coming, though, and closes the door.
Rain, the ultimate leveler, and we know experience comes into play. Wilfred, we've got to remember, he's been around for a very long time.
Van der Linde not troubled whatsoever by any conditions thrown at this kid. He definitely has a talent and is starting to show that he's going to become a force to be reckoned with in saloon car racing. They come out of the final turn. Look at the gap he's managed to pull. Voldy Monkeys, 8.5 seconds back in second place. And this is what it's all about for Class A so far in 2012.
The great thing about the end of this race, on those last 2 laps, when it did start to rain, Van der Linde was losing half a second a lap. Everyone else was losing a full second.
Voldy Monkeys hangs on for second place. Ray Wolford, also a great drive to recover up to third. And down in Class B, Steve Hurley, Rory Atkinson and Darren Nathan, your top 3.
Derek, well, what a turnaround and a story for the second race here, eh?
Yeah, it was amazing. When the rain came, everything changed. And the rain didn't come down at once. It came in little bits, and then it started getting worse and worse. So you never knew when you went into these fast turns what to expect. So when I tiptoed in one of them, Ray Wilford came in my inside, and I said, "Oh, Ray, what are you doing, China?" But anyway, we kept it together, and it was actually a very great race.
Steve, pretty solid start to the season, eh?
Very good, yeah. No, it was quite an insane race. I had one of my average starts again. Ended up third, and then a bit of bumping with Quinton, and we were tussling it out there, but eventually we cleared out, and Darren was on me like, oh, I can't tell you the pressure, for about 5 or 6 laps, but I saw we were both catching Rory, and I thought, well, if I could just break Darren, maybe I can catch Rory, and then the rain came, and I saw Rory start to be hesitant, and I thought, I know my car's good in the wet, here's the chance.
A big thanks once again to Goldbargen for all this action.